YouTube, what's happening? It is a much cooler Saturday, July 20th here in this office. The AC's finally fixed. I can breathe finally. Great. We have 16 games in baseball to talk about today. We have a doubleheader in Atlanta. 7-9 yesterday. Hey, lost a few units. What you gonna do? Can't happen. So, hey, baseball, the best team loses 60 games a year. Remember that. Historically, the best ever lost 60 games. So, yeah, do what you gotta do. It's the dog days of summer. As long as that number is green on the units for the season, by the time football gets here, which is in 5 weeks, 5 more Saturdays, we'll have some football. Beautiful. I will take it. Don't care. So drop a like, subscribe, share. We got 5 more weeks to grind. And I'm not out here doing WNBA because I don't watch it. I'm not doing tennis. I don't watch it. I'm not doing golf. You know how many golf bets I saw on Twitter in the past couple days? Everyone was betting golf for some reason. It's just addiction. Call the number. You need help. Table tennis. I saw table tennis bets galore. Like, come on, guys. Come on, it ain't that serious. Take a breath, breathe a little bit. But hey, baseball's here. We stick in our lane. This is our lane. Baseball, basketball, football. That's it. That's all I'm gonna do probably. Maybe hockey, UFC, maybe. We'll see. So outside of that, we don't divert too much. So we stay here with the stats. 16 games today. Let's jump to that first one right now. All right, first game. Before I jump into it, what you're looking at here is Outlier. A lot of people who watch me know what this is, but if you don't, this is where I get all my games from. I get all my odds. You can see it shows different books. I get all my props from here. You can see we have props on these two pictures here. Whole bunch of options on games, props, anything you can want. There's a link in the description. Check it out. You get a free week to use it. It's awesome. Who doesn't like free stuff? I know I do. So go to Outlier, check it out, use the link in the description. Let's go ahead and jump to that first game, and that is Tampa Bay and New York. Right there, we can see New York is a 155 favorite. Best number you can find out there is going to be a DK. Over under is 8.5 currently. Looking at the bats, we see that Tampa is 41.9% base NRFI based on what they've done this year. Tampa's offense is terrible right now. 1.7 for 208. That ain't going to get it done, guys. Got to do better. Yankees 5.7, 257, much better. I lean hard Yankees on the money line just from the bats. Looking at the pitching though, we got Taj Mahal Bradley going out there, 2-9 with a 1-1-1. He hasn't faced the Yankees recently. And looking at the screen, he looks like a beast, but you got to scroll a little bit and then boom. On June 1st, he went triple nines. But since then, he has been balling out. These are amazing numbers, great numbers overall. And then you can see Nasty Nestor coming out there for the Yankees, 367 to 112. He faced Tampa in his last game and got absolutely rocked. That ain't the type of nasty I like to see. That's terrible. That's terrible, Cortez. So 7-5. Before that, I mean, he had decent numbers, but this is his worst game. So, and it was 4.1 innings. He only had 4 strikeouts. Tampa Bay is not a good offense. So I can't take the Yankees, but I can't back this dude against the Rays. When the Rays are terrible. They are awful right now offensively. I can't back them. And I'm a Tampa guy. I can't do it. No, sorry, can't do it. So I'm going to leave the side alone. Total, I can't touch because I can't trust Tampa to get the over, and I can't trust Nestor to keep it under. So I can't trust the over/under. I can't trust a Nerfy because, again, for all I know, Taj might give up a home run to Judge in the first inning. You know, can't. So we'll pop over some props and see if we have anything that we can look at that might look good. See, let me pop up, show you how it works. Taj here. We got Brad. We want to match up first. We want to go Bradley versus the Yankees. History. Nothing on there. Not much to look at. So, but how did the Yankees hit righties? Well, here you go. You can see only 2 really doing the greatest. Are obviously going to be Judge and Soto, your 2 big bats out here. So they do great. Nothing else is really standing out here. Under the props, we have earned runs, 2.5, sure. Strikeouts might be a play because 5.5 is a good number, and he's hit that 7 out of 10. And Yankees are in the middle of the road on strikeouts. Hits, I'm gonna pass on hits. Walks, he doesn't walk too much, but I got burned on walks yesterday with Eflin. I ain't taking another Tampa Bay pitcher to burn me on walks. Not today. You're not gonna get me twice. Outs is a thing too, because 15.5 is literally not even 6 innings, because 18 is 6 innings. That's 5.1 innings. That should, yeah, because that would be 16 outs. So yeah, I am going to take the over on Bradley pitching outs for sure. I'm probably going to take his strikeouts too. Let's look at his counterpart, Mr. Nesta matchups. Him versus Tampa career. Bang. Much more data here. We can see Diaz has 3 home runs and 33 at bats, and 3 home runs and 23 for Randy. Randy might have to make the list. I'm going to put you on right now. Randy, Tampa Bay. It's all I'm going to put. Randy, Tampa Bay. They know who that is. I know who that is. So Rosario has 1. Yeah, 2 and 19. Yeah, so we got some home runs out there potential today. How do the Rays hit lefties though? Here you go. They do pretty good. Green's good around here. So we got a 318 to 348, 304, 367, 341. Yeah, so you can see where we're going here. That's why Tampa probably does so well against Nasty last time. So yeah, it makes it hard to pick a side. Nestor hits allowed 4.5. We're probably have to go take that. But Tampa's been so cold recently. I don't think I can do it. I mean, if they weren't dead last, almost dead last in runs and 26 in average, I would take him, but I just can't. I know the guy from last time, but I just can't do it again. I got to sit back. So you can see you got 7 hits. Strikeouts, I'm going to pass on. Earned runs, no. Walks, no. Outs, ugh, no. So, all right, so for this one, all we're going to rock with, we're going to take Bradley 15.5 pitching outs and Bradley 5.5 strikeouts. And I lean nasty. I keep calling him nasty. Nestor Cortes, I lean his hits because of these numbers, but I just don't trust Tampa. So that's my lean. So I'll take those 2 for sure. Move on to the next game. Next up, St. Louis, Atlanta, part 1, the makeup from last night where they got rained out. So we have Atlanta as a slight favorite at home. 8.5 is your total currently. Looking at the bats, we see 46.7% Murphy based on what they've done this year. 6.3 and 311 average for the St. Louis Cardinals in the last 3. They've been hot. Atlanta, 4 runs and 232. They've been mid. That's the best word I can use for them, mid. And that's probably the best they've been in the last month. They're usually in the 20s, so hey, they're doing better. Strikeouts, St. Louis doesn't strike out much. Atlanta strikes out a ton recently. They got down to 9, though. They're doing a little bit better. So let's look at the pitchers. Gibson's going out there for St. Louis. You can see he faced Atlanta back on June 26th. Well, he did a 4 for 4. 4 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, 5 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Lots of 4s out there, but he had 87 pitches. That's why he didn't go long. They pulled him. So makes sense. And since then, he's given up a lot of 4s. That's what he does. 10 hits, 9 hits. Dude has been getting rocked on hits. And it was Washington and the Cubs. These 2 teams aren't even that hot. That's crazy. So we're going to probably look at his hits. Morton, on the other hand, has not faced St. Louis recently, but you can see he's had some games where he gives up some runs now, so the over might be in play in this first one. However, I must state this. We must be very, very careful. This is a doubleheader. Doubleheaders will burn you so hard because you don't know what the hell is going to happen in a doubleheader, because we don't know what they're going to rest, because they're going to take 1 hour break between, they're going to kick everyone out the stadium, 1 hour, and bring everyone back in. A split doubleheader for ticket purposes. I know what they're doing, greedy bastards. I know what they're doing. So, yeah, that's what we got here. They're going to get an hour break, so that's not much of a break. So you can see the pitchers both give up runs. Let's look at the props, see if anything stands out on the prop land over here. So Morton, let's do the matchup first. Morton versus St. Louis history. What do we have? We have a couple homers for Nolan and Crawford here. You can see the stats. 286, 364 for old Goldie here. Nothing's too terribly standing out. How do Cardinals do against righties? Well, here you go. You can see all the numbers. Burleson's 327. Yeah, those are good numbers over there. So let's look at some props real quick. Let's pass through them. Earn runs. Morton's been getting up hits a good bit and runs. Yeah, he's 2.5 your number, and you're going against St. Louis, who's hitting hot. Yeah, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take Morton over 2.5 earned runs. We'll look at hits too, just to be safe. Hits is only at 1 book right now. Interesting. 5 is a weird number. Anytime I see gray, I know it's one of those books like FanDuel, or not FanDuel, but Prize Picks or Underdog or something like that. It's always the same. Looking, okay, we saw that. Let's look at Gibson stuff. Matchup, Gibson against Atlanta history. We see Murphy's got a home run. Olsen has 4 home runs and 25 at-bats. That's interesting. I am going to be typing Olsen into my home run list. Just go ahead and throw that in there. So we can see that, because apparently he's got a 400 average, 1.4 OPS. Yeah, dude likes to hit some home runs off him. Riley has a home run. Murphy has a home run. 2 for this guy. I don't know who this guy is, and he has 2 home runs and 22 at-bats. Yeah, see, this is why I'm not taking St. Louis, even though they're hot. Yeah, no. Yeah, Atlanta could easily tee off on them. So the over might be in play. Let's look at some. Oh, how does Atlanta do against righties? You can see Ozuna's got 21 for 282. We got a lot of ones on here. And Olson himself is 211 against righties this year. Yeah, we'll still put him on the home run list though. Okay, so for this one, let's look at some props for him real quick. Earned runs. Yep, he is over as well. I almost feel like what is the over under in this? 8.5. Oh, do I take the pitcher overs? His was hits. I definitely want to do hits. Yeah, we're gonna trust Atlanta to get 5 hits. So Gibson over 4.5 hits allowed. We're gonna rock with that. Earned runs, could strikeouts. You could. I'm not doing it though. I'm gonna go with the hits. I like the hits better. I think he can give up 5 hits. That feels like a good number. Walks, no. Okay. So for this one, I'm going for Morton. I'm gonna go Morton. I'm gonna go back to that and look. Just check my work. You gotta check your work sometimes. Earned runs against St. Louis. Hits was what? 5? Yeah. We're gonna take Morton off. We're gonna take earned runs off. We're gonna rock with just Gibson on the over 4.5. I'm trying to be a little more cautious, trying to keep that bankroll from draining too much just in case I have a really bad day. So we're going to take Gibson over 4.5 hits allowed in this one because remember, it is a doubleheader. Got to be safe. So Gibson 4.5 hits, nothing else next game. All right, next game, we got Detroit and Toronto. You see Toronto's a slight favorite. 8 is your total right now. Looking at the bats, 53.2% Nerfy based on what these two teams have done. 6.7 and 294. Detroit's offense is pretty hot, both in the top 7 in those categories in the last 3 games. Toronto 4.3 and 252. Just like the Braves, mid. That's what they are. So advantage Detroit when it comes to the bats. Looking over at the pitchers, we got Kikuchi going out there with a 4.42 with a 1.30. You can see the stats, what he has done. He has not faced Detroit here recently. 7.5, 4, 4, 2, 7. Dude is struggling. His best game outside of this 3-5 inning against Milwaukee. Couple twos. That ain't good. That ain't great, dude. Olson going out there with a 3.3 with a 1.18. You can see his numbers. Yeah, they're better outside this 12.8 down here and 10.4. I mean, he's settled in a little bit. Yeah, I can't take. I would lean Olson over Kikuchi for sure. So obviously, I'm leaning Detroit money line already. What were the odds? Detroit is an underdog. That's interesting. So we'll see. We'll look a little closer before we decide on that. So let's look over at the prop screen. We'll start with Olson. Olson's a righty. Going against Toronto, you can see this. How has Toronto batters done against Olson recently? No home runs given up and only 1 RBI ever. You can see not many at bats, so can't really do anything. How does Toronto hit against righties? Well, here you go. There's a 400 down here, 326 for Horowitz, 291 for Vladdy. I mean, nothing really stands out. Let's look at some props. Earned runs, 2.5. No. Strikeouts. He is up and now. I don't like dudes that strike out that can literally only do 3 and then sometimes do 9. I hate that. So I hate betting those dudes. Hits. I can't do hits. Walks. No. I need something that stands out. That kind of stands out. Do I think he can go 6 innings? That's the question, because apparently he didn't in some of these games. But these are the games he's probably getting kind of rocked in. So yeah, 7. Yep. No, we'll pass on those. Let's look at Kikuchi stuff. He's a lefty versus Detroit. You can see his numbers in his career. Kana has 2 home runs and 21 at bats. Rogers has 1 home run. You can see the numbers. You can see the averages. So you can see what stands out. How does Detroit hit lefties? Well, here you go. A lot of green on the board. 333, 389, 390 for Ibanez. That's wow. That's a lot of bats. 286. Yeah, you can see that's all this just this year. So I can see Detroit looks like they can do pretty good against lefties. Let's look at some props right here. Outs, that ain't happening. I can't. Yeah, no. Strikeouts, no. Hits, no. Earned runs, potentially. Potentially a play here. Walks, no. Okay, so far the only thing I'm liking is Detroit money line. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's all we're gonna do. I liked everything. You can get Detroit and money line at plus 115. That's what we're gonna take. We're gonna rock with that. I don't like any of the props. Nothing really stands out. I'm not taking a total. I'm not taking a Nerfy. Not in these. The Nerfy's really got to stand out. So we're not going to take that. Just Detroit money line. Moves to the next game. Next up, we got the Angels and the A's. Oakland's favored in this one slightly at 130, 8.5 is your total. Looking at the bats, we see Nerfy 61.8. Not with this pitcher. I can't do it. Not with LA's pitcher. You can see 2.7 and a 191. Angels are terrible offensively here recently. Oakland has a lot of single digits because the bats have been en fuego. 12 runs a game in their last 3, 12 runs a game in their last week. The A's bat, last 7 games, not the week, but you can see the bats have been on fire for Oakland. They're batting 339 in their last 3 games. They're batting 339 the last week too. So you can see they've just been killing it, crushing it. So, last 3 strike, they're not even striking out much. Who is this Oakland team? What have they done? All of a sudden, they're like World Series contenders. Even though they're 38 and 61, they are batting amazing. They're on a 2-game winning streak. So, and that's another reason why we can't take a Nerfy in this one. So, look at the pitchers. LA sending out Jack K. That's all I'm gonna say because I can't say this. Can you say this? I mean, no, nobody can. He's got a 12 ERA with 2.33, 1K. He pitched 3 innings against Seattle 9 days ago. He gave up 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 bomb, 1K. That's it. Spence is going out there for Oakland. Spence got rocked against Philly. He gave up some against Baltimore. He faced the Angels literally 18 days ago. Went 5.1, 6 hits, 1 walk, 1 earned run. Pretty good numbers. He faced the Angels before that, June 25th, 5.1 again, but got rocked. So a little confusing in this one. So he's facing, this is his 3rd time facing him. I don't know. I mean, yeah. So let's look at the props. That's the best I can do. We'll start with Jack here, mainly so we can see how Oakland hits against righties because we obviously don't have any stats. Oakland hits righties like this. You can see the numbers, 303. Nothing is 297 for Rooker. Nothing's really standing out. Let's look at some. He has some props. I give him that. His strikeouts are at 3.5 if you want to take those. His hits are at 4.5. Against Oakland, I think I'm going to be taking this all day. Thank you. Jack K over 4.5 hits allowed. Why wouldn't I? Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Against this offense? Are you kidding me? Yeah, no, I'm taking this all day. If it misses, hey, whatever, cool. He might come out and pitch a gem today. It could happen. If he does, you earn that one, buddy. Earned runs? No, I'll take the hits. Why do I gotta worry about earned runs? I just take hits. And walks? No. So, yeah, we're definitely taking that. Let's look at Spence now. Spence, history, Angels, what they've done. He's given up 1 home run to Moniak. Not much information here. How does the Angels hit righties? Well, here you go. You can see the numbers. 7 bombs here, 11 averages. The highest one looks to be a 276 for Calhoun, but nothing's really up. 297 for Hop. Hoppy. So you can see what they got here. Let's look at the props. Hits. No, not with this cold Angels offense. I really can't. Strikeouts, but maybe. He struck out 6 against LA, and he struck out 5 against LA in his last 2 games. It's 4.5 now. It's close. LA is struggling. Spence over 4.5K. Yep, I gotta take it. I gotta take it. And it's plus money. What's the alt for 3.5? 186? No, I'm gonna rock 4.5 because it just, look at that. He's already done it twice. Angels bats are cold. Yeah, I gotta rock with it. So earn runs I can't do. Walks I can't do. No, maybe 5. Jeez. Ooh. That means he's probably trying to get the batters to chase. Hey, I get it. I get it. Shark pitchers do that. I understand. So an outs I can't do because that's just wild. So hopefully we don't have one of these games. So all right. So for this one, that scares me. That worries me. I mean, it was Philly. They rocked them up, roughed them up a little bit, but I'm gonna take the Spence K's off. This chart worries me on his strikeouts because, yeah, he got 6, but he only pitched 11 outs. That's 6 of those outs for strikeouts. That's way too high a percentage. I can't do that. You can do it. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna try to be a little more safer on this. So I'm gonna take on this one. I obviously lean Oakland money line. because that's exactly what I'm going to take. Let me just put that in this place. I'm taking Oakland money line. I'm taking Jack K to get over 4.5 hits allowed, and we're going to move on to the next one. All right, next up we got the Mets and the Marlins. So you can see that the Mets are pretty heavy favorite in this one. 8.5 years total. Looking at the bats, 50.9% nerfy based on what they've done this year. 5.3, 2.48 average for the Mets, both middle of the road. Miami 5-3, 1-2. The average is top 5, but the runs just aren't there. So, I mean, kind of slight advantage Miami. Can we say that? Slight advantage? Very slight. So nothing really stands out there. Let's look at the pitchers. Munoz is going out there for Miami. You can see the stats, what he's done. He has faced the Mets recently. He pitched 6 innings of gem right there. 1 hit over 6. Just beautiful game for him. Outside of that, got roughed up. So his best game was against the Mets. So that tells you something right there. Look at Severino. He has faced Miami. He also pitched a gem. I believe that was the same game. 8-6. He got roughed up afterwards too. So you can see, but then he came back with another gem, got roughed up a little bit, really roughed up against Pitt. So, I mean, this makes it a little difficult. Over under is what, 8.5? Ugh. Let's look at some props. Let's see what stands out. Because we're taking Severino and we are taking him. Munoz. Pop him up. Let's open him up. Match up. We want him versus him. History. Severino. History against Miami. Let's see. Burger Man. The Burger. 2 bombs and 8 at bats. And he hit one last night. So maybe. Chisholm has a home run and 7 at bats. Other than that, nothing really stands out. Yeah, nothing standing out. Gordon has 3 out of 4 against him. That's kind of stands out too. So maybe I might. Burger already hit one last night, but maybe Burger can do it again. Burger for the Mets. We'll add him to the list. Anytime something stands out with that kind of average, I will add it. Let's then see how Miami hits righties. Here you go. 348 for Edwards. Burger's 245. 300 for Sanchez. Not much stands out. Let's look at some props real quick. Strikeouts. Show me the over. I like to see the overs, actually. I can't do that. Hits allowed. Hits allowed has quickly become my favorite prop to bet because I'm doing so well with it. Because when you have stuff like this, 5.5 against the Miami, who is batting 312 right now, I might have to add this, to be honest. I mean, he pitched a gem against him last time, but that's 6 hits. 6 hits is a lot. Let's be honest. 6 hits is kind of high. We'll pass. Earned runs, no. Walks, no. Outs is pretty close, but they 18 point. That was 17.5. Yeah, so we'll pass on his. Let's look over here at Munoz against the Mets. History. No home runs, but no at-bats really. So, and this was the one game he faced them. So you can see Bader got a hit, but outside of that, nothing else happened in this one. Mets hit righties like this, 299 for Bader. We got a 356 outside of that, 3, yeah, not much stats at all. Look at the props, earned runs. I want just 2024. Strikeouts, hits, 4.5 against the Mets. Mets are mid right now, offense. I'm going to lay off on these, I believe. Yeah, no props look good here. So for me, nothing's looking good on the props. On the batting side, I don't see much of a difference here. I'm not taking a nerfy. To me, nothing's really standing out in this game. So for me, I'm going to put Burger in the home run grouping, and we'll look at that later. But outside of that, I'm passing on everything and just move on to the next game. All right, next up, we got Philly and Pitt. You can see Philly is a pretty heavy favorite after choking away the lead last night against Pittsburgh. It happens. Baseball, right? What can you do? 8.5 is your total. Looking at the bats, 47.3 based on what they've done this year. 7 and 257 for Philly in the last 3. 7.7 and 324 for Pitt in the last 3. Pitt, the slight advantage to Pitt just because of that batting average. 324 is way higher than 257, and 7.7 is, I mean, it's the same. They're 3 and 4 in runs, so slightest of all advantages for Pittsburgh in this one. Looking at the pitchers, we have Sanchez going out there. First thing we look at, has not faced Pittsburgh. Got roughed up against the Cubs, 5 and 2 before that. Gems, 7 and 4 against Boston. So, and 0.2 in the All-Star game. I don't even know why they put this on here. So, but hey, you can see. And Louis LL Cool J Ortiz over here, looking at his game log, you can see dude is pretty good. We can see, but I mean, outside of that game, he's been pretty good. So that's all I gotta say. So he's technically a reliever, technically. because of the way, but they're using him more as a starter now, so they just need to update us to starting. So that's what he is. So dude's pretty good. So let's look at some props. So far, I'm not leaning either side because I think both pitchers are pretty good. I can't really do anything about a side in this one. Nerfy, not when both teams are top 4 in runs, not a chance. And one team is top 4 in average. Can't do a Nerfy with that. Props, let's pop over. Like I said, Luis L. Ortiz, LL. Yeah, jokes write themselves. You can see how he is. History against Philly. Schwarber has 1 home run and 2 at-bats. So there's a 50-50 shot right there. Outside of that, nothing is truly. Trey has 2 out of 3 hits, but there's nothing really standing out. Philly hits varieties like this. 315 for home run derby man, 310 for him, 357 for Trey Turner, 293 for Marsh. You can see the numbers. They tee off pretty well against righties. Props here, you can see numbers, overs there. Strikeouts, we can see nothing's truly standing out so far. I guess he's been low on hits. 5.5 seems high, but we saw Pittsburgh hits against righties well, and Pittsburgh is doing pretty decent. So, I mean, not Pittsburgh, Philly. I get the P's confused. So you know what I'm talking about. Hey, earned runs, no. Walks, I mean, yeah, he's been great recently. So I don't really like any of these props. Sanchez, on the other hand, you can see how he's done against Pittsburgh historically. No home runs, only 1 RBI. A lot of red, a lot of zeros, to be honest, in one game. Reynolds, 167. Taylor's 3 out of 5. But outside of that, nothing stands out. Pittsburgh against lefties. Hayes, 328. And we can see a 400 for Bart. And so you can see the numbers here. Some people are great. McCutcheon, terrible. So you can see the numbers there. Let's look at the props. Nothing. Nothing. No walks. No oots. Outs. No, not with Pittsburgh's offense. I can't do that. So all right. So no props in that one. Looking over here, we don't like a Nerfy. We don't like props. Do I like a side? I think both pitchers are good, and I have Pittsburgh slightly advanced. I don't like a side. Only thing loves a total. What we got on total? 8.5. Both pitchers are pretty good. They both got blew up a little bit when they faced these teams last time. Both bats are pretty hot. It's nothing standing out. I can't do it. I would love to play this, but I'm gonna have to pass on this one too. That's back-to-back passes. Oh, sorry. That's it. Passing this one. Move to the next one. All right, next up we got Cincinnati and Washington. It's basically a pick 'em on the odds. 8.5 is your total. Looking at the bat, 62.1% Nerfy based on what they've done this year. 5.7 runs for both teams. This both top 8 tied for it. 212 and 263. Washington has the advantage of the averages. Nerfy's not dead, but I'm not liking it so far. I don't like top 10 runs scoring for a Nerfy. Strikeouts, Cincy is striking out a ton recently, and Washington's middle of the road. Looking at the pitchers, Lodolo going out there with a 3-3 with a 1-1. You can see how he has done, and it's not bad. Pretty good numbers. He has to face Washington. Colorado is the worst he's had against. I mean, Colorado teed off on him a little bit. That's, yeah. So Gore, you can see how Gore's done. How he has been up and down. He's definitely up and down. So yeah, Nerfy's off the table. I don't like pitchers that get teed off on like this. I need to see some zeros and more 1s out there, not 5s. No, that's too many 5s. So Nerfy off the table. Sidewise, I would lean Lodolo over Gore. Just saying. For bats, I would lean Washington slightly because of the average. So that counts out the side. That counts out the Nerfy. Total is what, 8.5? Yeah, I can't do 8.5. So let's pop over some props. Let's do Lodolo first against Washington. Historically, Vargas is the only one doing anything. Has 1 home run and 3 at-bats. Outside of that, not many stats. Washington versus lefties, though. You can see the stats here. We got 350 for Thomas, 400 for 278. You can see the numbers here. Nothing really stands out. Let's look at some props real quick. Earned runs, strikeouts, hits, no, walks. Nothing looks good on this one for this, so I'll pass on that. Let's pop over to Gore. History against Cincy. There you go. He has 1 home run and 1 at-bats. So you can see that number right there. Outside of that, this is against Gore. A lot of 1.0 averages, 375 and 8 at-bats. Let's see how Cincy does against lefties. Hines is terrible, so don't expect him to do anything. He does have a home run, but he's not doing too good. We got some 300s out here. Ellie's a 242. Yeah, I'm not liking that either. So nothing's really standing out. Let's look at props. Hits is 4.5 against Gore. Since he doesn't hit lefties all that great, though, that's the thing. Strikeouts, no. Earned runs, walks, outs. Oh god, this is ugly. This is the only thing. It's 5. Does he give up 5 hits? I go back to the matchup. Just taking their peek. You know what? I think I'm gonna take hits because there's a good average. Tradition this year, they've not hit too well. I mean, we got a couple 300s, but outside of that, yeah. But the history is there a little bit. We're gonna take Gore over 4.5 hits allowed. We'll add that to the list onto the sheet. So through that one. Outside of that, nothing looks good. I can't take anything else. There's no. That's the only prop I like. I already said I don't like any of this other stuff, so I'm gonna pass on everything else. Take Gore over 4.5 hits allowed, and just move on to the next game. All right, next up we got Baltimore and Tejas. Pretty much pick them, a slight favorite for Baltimore. 7.5 is your total. Looking at the bat, 64.2 nervy based on what they've done this year. 5.3 versus 2.3 advantage. Baltimore. 255 versus 0.098 batting average for Texas in the last 3 games. Last week, it has been 0.085. That is how terrible Texas has been when it comes to batting. Awful, atrocious. I can't think of any more A words. Abysmal, abnormal. Just, yeah, another A word. Just terrible. Ass. That's what they are. That's what they are right there. 30th and just terrible. So enough of that. So yeah, I'm leaning Baltimore heavily on the offense. Let's go to pitching. We got Grayson going out there. Hasn't faced Texas recently, but dude has been getting rocked a little bit. Outside, you can see the numbers here. Not too great. Scherzer, Scherzer's only pitched 5 total games, so it's kind of hard to see what he's done. So he's been, none of these are bad games. None of them are. So I would lean Scherzer on the pitching, Baltimore on the offense. They cancel out the side, so I can't take Baltimore, even though I kind of want to because of how bad Texas is. But that does make me want to take 7.5. Come on, I can't do that. Let's look at props. Let's do Scherzer against Baltimore. You can see history for the guys against Scherzer. Santander has 2 home runs and 10 at-bats. That's something to note. That's interesting. Cowser has 1 out of 2. Outside of that, you can see the numbers. And Baltimore hits righties like this. There's a 300 for Henderson, but outside there's a lot of 200s on here. So that's interesting. That might cool Baltimore off. Let's look at some props for Scherzer. I just need 2024 because I don't care about last year. He's hit 6 strikeouts last couple games. The hits have been, yeah, he's getting the swing of things. He's doing pretty good. A lot of rumors he might get traded still. That's a thing. A lot of rumors because he's a journeyman very recently. So nothing standing out prop-wise. Let's look at Grayson. Grayson, historically, Grossman has 1 homer and 3 at-bats, and Tavares is 1 of 1. Outside of that, Garcia, you can see the stats. Nothing's really standing out. And Texas versus righties, well, you can see there's not even a 300 on this list. What's the highest number? 283 for Sager. That's it. No, 280 for Smith. Okay. Still, these aren't good numbers. These are low. So let's look at props. Rodriguez, strikeouts, 5.5 against Texas. Might have to be the move. What's Texas 23rd, 9.7 the last 3. Rodriguez, 5.5. He's hit it every game but 2. 125 at FanDuel. 119 is always going to be prize picks. That's what they do. It's 125. I like that. I'm liking Rodriguez. Over 5.5 Ks. I like that. That's a good move. Hits. I don't know. Earned runs. No. Walks. Outs. I don't know. He might only pitch so much. Well, if he gets strikeouts, he might get pulled because he might be throwing so many pitches. So, yeah, we'll leave that off. So, I don't like Scherzer stuff. Rodriguez won. Odds. I lean Baltimore, but then again, I mean, because just how bad Texas offense is. So, I'm going to... Ooh, this is a gamble. I'm literally taking this just to fade Texas offense. I'm thinking about this all wrong. I'm having epiphanies live on screen right now. We are going to pop back over to the odds. And we are going to go team props. Texas runs. Yeah, that's right. Team total under, baby. Here we go. Team total under. 3.5 for the entire game is 105. 4.5 is 180. Oh, Texas team total under 3.5. If they hit it, hey, whatever. But I am going to take this number right there. That is Texas, right? Yeah, Texas. Texas 3.5, team total under. I got to do it because this tells me to do it. 2.3 runs their last three, 2.5 the last week. Can't even get above a 0.1 batting average. I can't do it. Yeah, so all right, so we're going to take Texas team total under 3.5, Rodriguez over 5.5 Ks next game. All right, next up, San Diego and Cleveland. We have it as pretty much a pick 'em. 7.5 is your total. Looking at the bats, 43.9% NERFI based on what they've done this year. Maybe with these offenses, 2.3 and 3.7, both in the bottom 11, 255 and 250, middle of the road offenses. So probably a pass. I don't know. We'll see. And neither team strikeouts. This is probably the least strikeout matchup out there. So, but we'll look at the props anyways, because you never know. Pitchers, Dylan Cease is going out there, 3.9 with a 108. You can see has not faced Cleveland recently. 777s right there, 1 hits. You can see the highlights. He either pitches a 1-hitter or he gives up a bunch. He's up and down. He's not even a roller coaster. Dude is an elevator. That's what he is. He is up and down. That's all he does. So Gav, on the other hand, we don't have much. He's pitched 3 times this year and got roughed up. Great game. Pretty good game. So those are what we have there. So let's look at some props. Let's start with Gavin because we don't have much with him. So Gavin, history against some of these pitchers. Wade has faced him twice, and Peralta's faced him twice. So let's look and see how San Diego faces against righties. 309. Louis is 328. Obviously, it's him. Surprise is not even higher. 270. You can see the home runs. Nothing's really standing out here. Look at the strikeouts. 2024. Pitching out, he's only done 3 games, so pitching out has been kind of low. I'm not trusting him to get as high though. That's under. Let's go over, so it looks right. Over, I don't trust the under either. Strikeouts, no hits, earned runs, walks. I need more stats. Three games ain't enough. Still, on the other hand, we can see the stats historically. Hedges has a home run in 7 at bats. Brennan has a home run in 8 at bats. We got 368. Quan has a pretty good average against him. You could see a lot of 300s. That's standing out too. Jimenez with, yeah, that is a good bit of, okay. How's his hits looking? Let me go right to hits. 1 hit last game, 4.5. They hit him pretty well. I forgot to look at the last thing. I always forget this one. Righties. How do righties do against, how do Cleveland righties do against San Diego? Let's see. A lot of 2s. Quan's at 337, but other than that, a lot of 2s. But then historically, they do have higher numbers. I might have to go with the hits allowed. It's only 4.5, and he's been shown to get either he's going to pitch a great game or he's going to give up a bunch. So that's what I'm going to rock with. I'm going to rock with that. And it's going to be Cease over 4.5 hits allowed. My favorite prop. I love this prop. Walks, I'm not liking. Strikeouts, I mean, dude strikes out a bunch. So I mean, but Cleveland doesn't strike out much. So that's the thing. Earned runs, no. We're gonna go with those hits allowed. I think he can give up 5 hits. I'm feeling good about that. Not confident. I feel good. So I don't trust the side. No, I don't trust the NERFI. I don't trust the side. I don't trust the total. We're going to take Cease over 4.5 hits allowed and just move on to the next game. Next up, White Sox and Royals. We could see, I'm sorry, KC is heavily favored. 210 is the best number out there. 8.5 is your total. Looking at the bats, 50.6 NERFI based on what they've done this year. 2.3 versus 3.7, slight advantage for the KC. 222 versus 226, they're the same. There's no advantage in bats in this one. Yeah, KC won yesterday, but yeah, we got the pitchers helped with that one. So let's look at the pitchers. Today, Singer's going out there, 320 with a 1-2-3. Hasn't faced the White Sox recently, and you can see the numbers. He's been pretty good. Jonathan Cannon's going out there. Dude's been, I mean, not bad. I mean, pretty decent numbers. That's not a good game, but outside that's an iffy game, but not bad overall. Not bad. So you can see, and he has not faced KC either recently, so we have those. Let's look at the props. First off, let's open up some props so we can actually look at them. Boom, boom. Here we go. Let's start with Singer. We want the matchup, Singer versus the White Sox historically. And DeJong has a home run and 3 at-bats. Lee has a home run and 4 at-bats. And Vaughn has a home run and 29 at-bats. And Sheets has 2 and 23 at-bats, but yet a terrible batting average. So there's the numbers. White Sox versus righties. As expected, it's not going to be too good. It's the White Sox, the worst record in the majors. 270 is probably going to be your highest, and that sure is. That's the highest. So let's look at some props for him. Earned runs under. Let's look from the over perspective. Yeah. White Sox bats are 24th in both categories. Ooh, 1.5 is silly, though. That's crazy. I can't do that. Strikeouts, no. Hits allowed. He still gives up hits, though. That's the one thing I don't like. Walks, no. Outs, he is up and down, too. I don't like any of his props. Okay. Let's go to his counterpart. Let's look at Cannon. His matchup. Cannon versus KC historically. No home runs, not much data. And KC hits righties like this. You can see we got 327 for WHIP. Outside of that, we got some higher 200s, but nothing really stands out here. So again, earn runs, strikeouts, hits, walks, outs. Outside of this one, that was wild. That was when right before the All-Star break. So yeah, I can't even take the average here because that's weird. 16.5. How's Casey's bats doing? 19th and 23rd. Let's see, 18 to 6 innings. So they want him to go 5 1/3 at least. I think he can do that. Is Casey? I can see him doing that. Yeah, Cannon over 16.5 PO. Unless they tee off on him, I can see him getting this because 18 to 6 innings. I can see him going at least 6 innings. So we'll leave that on there. Sidewise, I don't trust KC. I'm gonna throw it out. I don't trust them today because you see the stats. They're too close. And the pitchers are, yeah, Singer's good, but so Cannon's not bad. So I don't see much of a difference, especially for a 210 odds. 210, 1.5. No, this can easily be a KC one run win easily. Hell, this could be a Chicago win. I've been kind of the White Sox whisperer this year, so just saying, you might want to watch. You never know. This could easily be a 2-1 game too. Who knows? So over under, I'm not touching. Yeah, we're just going to take the Cannon over 16.5 pitching outs and let's move on to the next game. All right, next up, Milwaukee and Minnesota. For some reason, they didn't play yesterday. I guess they needed an extra day off to recover for some reason. So they had the day off. First day back for them. We have Minnesota's a slight favorite. 7.5 is your total. Looking at the bats, 47% Nerfy based on what they've done this year. 5.3 versus 2.3. Big advantage Milwaukee. 227, 232. No advantage in that one. And strikeouts, Milwaukee striking out a ton before the break because this is all before the break because they didn't play yesterday. So far, I would leave Milwaukee. Looking at the pitchers, we got Pablo Lopez going out there, 5'11", the 118. The numbers have been very up and down, very elevator-ish, if you will. And Peralta's going out there. You can see the numbers here. We got to watch Milwaukee. They like to do weird pitching things where they'll put a reliever in for 1 inning and then put the starter in. Weird stuff going on in Milwaukee. Trying to game the system, I guess. Ted 6. 10-4. He gives us some hits, but then he pitches gems. He has not faced Minnesota, and Pablo has not faced Milwaukee. So those are the main things to look at. Let's pop on over to Azub Props. Pablo matchup. Pablo versus them. So you can see what they've done. Hoskins has 2 home runs and 11 at-bats. That is interesting. Hoskins might have to go on the list because he's got a 545 average. Yeah. Hoskins for Milwaukee is definitely going on my list. Got to do it. Because even if the home runs, total bases, like 2 bases plus on these home run guys, that's something. Nice little parlay of these for like nothing because we're just playing around with this. These don't go on the record. These are just for fun. We hit a nice parlay, great. It won't even get added to the units. I don't care if I hit a home run parlay, it's not going in the units. This is just side stuff. So it'd be a cool Twitter post. That's about all I get out of it. So, and obviously the money. So the best part. You can see the average. Yelich is 417 average too, but no home runs. Righties, like Milwaukee against righties, how have they done this year? 326. You can see the stats. Lots of twos, lots of high twos. Let's look at this. Hits allowed 4.5. How are they hitting right now? 227 average. Ugh. Strikeouts. Nope. Earned runs. Oof. Oof. 1.5. That's okay. I was gonna say that is a silly number, but that's prospects. That makes okay. No. Walks. Outs. No, I'm not liking these. Peralta. What we got? Let's do the matchup first. Peralta versus Minnesota. History, nothing. No home runs, not many at bats. So nothing stands out here. Minnesota versus righties. A lot of red. A whole lot of red on here. 244. We got a 272, 265. Yeah, Minnesota's terrible against righties. Versus lefties. So you can see the, okay. All right, let's look at some props. Hits, strikeouts, earned runs, walks, outs, nothing. Okay, this game is a weird one. I'm not feeling any of the props. Since this is their first time playing, everybody else knocked it out yesterday. They're doing it today. I don't trust the side. Nothing stands out there. The bats don't stand out. The average is the same. I don't trust the Nerfy. I don't trust anything in this game. To me, I'm just gonna pass on this one and move on to the next one. All right, next up, Arizona and Chicago. You can see Arizona's a slight favorite, 8.5 is your total. Look at the bats, whatever you want to call them. 52.4 Nerfy based on what they've done this year. 8 versus 4.7. Arizona's bats are second in the majors last three. 333 average for third. Chicago was 8th at 284. Both bats are Arizona's bats are on fire. Chicago's bats are doing pretty hard. They're above average. And strikeouts the same at 8 in the last three. Pitching, Hendricks is going out there. Hasn't faced Zona recently, but dude's been outside his 777s. Dude's been lights out. Dude's been amazing. So you see his numbers. Zach Gall, on the other hand, has been, he's only pitched 4 times in the past 2 months. So you can see, had a great game there, 4-3. He's been kind of rough since. So I instantly lean, in this one, I lean the Cubs pitching heavy. I'm just going to say I lean Hendricks heavy over Gallon, and I lean Arizona's bats decently over Chicago, so that cancel each other. I can't take a side. Total, I don't like these. One shuts down, one gives up, but then the bats, I can't take a side. I can't even take a Nerfy. Let's go to props. See if any props look good. Let's start with Gallon on his matchup. History, nothing. He took a couple RBI. That's about the best you get. So not much of anything. Happ is terrible in 11 at bats. Swanson terrible in 11 at bats. But Gallon has been pretty terrible recently. So brick wall meets an immovable force. Okay, interesting. Let's look some props. Hits, strikeouts, earned runs. Yes, he's going up. He's making a stairway. That ain't good. You don't want to see stairways in your props. Walks. Until he shows he can pitch a decent game, I don't know if I can touch his. And let's look over here at Hendricks. Matchup. Him, Arizona. Anything stand out here? Peterson has 2 home runs and 12 at-bats. Suarez has 2 home runs and 29 at-bats. Peterson's going to go on the list. I'm going to say that right now. Peterson, Arizona. He's going on the list. 2 home runs. Outside of that, nothing. We got some high averages, especially with as many at-bats there are. And how does Arizona hit righties? Pretty decently. See the numbers. Okay, let's look at some props real quick. 2.5 earned runs. I can't take that. Dude's been lights out, but then I say he's lights out, but he's got 4 7s in the last 10 games. Oh my. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and one of them was Arizona. Oh, I didn't go far enough back. If I scroll down a little bit, I would have saw it. Ooh, that changes things. What's hits allowed? Ooh, yep, there. I'm going with this. I like Hendricks, but I like stats better. So I'm gonna take Hendricks. He might shut him down. He could easily shut him down. But I want to take over 4.5 hits allowed. My favorite prop. What are the odds? 75. That's not bad. I could rock with that. What's strikeouts? No. Earn runs? No, I can't do those. So, with that being said, do I add Arizona money line? I think I might. No. We're trusting Gallon. We can't trust Gallon. We need Gallon to have a good game. I can't do both. All right, we'll take Hendricks 4.5 hits allowed. Leave that alone. Rest of it alone. Just go to the next game. Next up, Boston and the Dodgers, the Doyas. We have LA pretty moderately favored at this one. 9 is your total. Looking at the bats, 42.7 NRFI based on what they've done this year. 3.7 versus 5.3, both middle 10 on the runs. 337 for Boston, number 2 in the majors in the last 3 in batting average. 235 for the Dodgers, middle of the road. So slightest of advantages for Boston in the bats. Looking over at the pitching, Bello's going out there, and Bello gives up runs. You can see that's just what he does. He has not faced the Doyers, but I mean, he did great against Miami. It was Miami. Outside of that, Oakland teed off on him, but Oakland's number 1 in offense right now, so they're teeing off on everybody. So, yeah. And Robleski has only pitched twice, and he's had pretty much the same game. 3 and 4 earned runs, a couple home runs. That's good for home run props. So we can see that he pitches 5 innings. Hey, what you gonna do? So let's look at some props, see what stands out. Let's start with Bello. Bello versus Dodgers history. What do we have? Biggio is terrible with 7 at-bats. Mr. Home Run Champ, terrible with 9 at-bats. I say terrible, 222. And Ohtani is 3 out of 5 in 5 at-bats. No home runs, though. Interesting. I'm tempted that. How does LA hit righties? 321, 289, 316 for Freeman. Freeman got the home run last night, not Ohtani. Yeah, it is Bello. This feels like a game where like Ohtani hits one. I don't know why. I feel it. If Freeman hit yesterday, I can see Ohtani or maybe even Teoscar. One of these two can maybe get it, but we'll lay off. We'll take Ohtani. We'll put him in the list. Earned runs for Bello is 2.5. I'm already thinking somebody's going to hit a home run against him. The bats, Dodgers are props, earned runs 2.5. Maybe. Or strikeouts, hits. There we go. There's the winner. I'm telling you, hits allowed is my favorite one. Bello over 5.5 hits allowed. What's the real odds? Oh, same. Okay, 120. Cool. I like that even more now. So, yeah, I think the Dodgers can definitely get some hits on them. And walks. Dude, walks a lot too. Outs, no shot. Can't do it. So, even though he gives up stuff, they still pitches a bunch. Cool. Let's look at his counterpart, Robleski. Obviously, there's no stats, but we can see how Boston hits lefties. Nothing. We got some 300s on here. Boston's offense is hot, so I'm leaning the over in this one. What is the over in this one? No, it's 9. Oh, we might still go with it. Let's look at some props. Earn run. I mean, we have 2 games. What are we gonna do with props? What are we gonna do here? I mean, we'll look at him. He's given up 5 hits both games. I can't trust that. It is Boston. No, I can't trust that. Can I? No. I need more than 2 data points. I need like 5 data points where I can really make a good decision. So I am going to take Bello on the hits allowed, and I think because I expect Robleski to give up runs, probably a couple home runs. I expect the Dodgers to get some runs off of Bello. I mean, over 9 seems like a play for me. I got to take the over of 9. So especially when it's a pick'em basically at 110, I like that. So. Of course, it'd be a pick 'em. It's a total. That makes sense. So yeah, we're gonna say Bello over 5.5 hits allowed, over of 9. Next game. All right, next up, St. Louis, Atlanta, pot deux. We have it's basically a pick 'em. Slight favorite St. Louis, 8.5 is your total. Looking at the bats, 46.7 based on what they've done NRFI wise this year. 6.3. We already went over the stats. You already see these from the first time we played because they haven't updated because this is based on what you've done. So again, St. Louis's bats are pretty hot. Atlanta's is mid again. So. Look at the pitchers. Sonny Gray is going out for part 2. He has not faced Atlanta. You can see his numbers been pretty good outside that 8.5 right there against Washington. But besides that, he's pretty consistent strikeouts. That's his thing, is strikeouts. And Elder's going out there for the Braves, supposedly. 4.3, 5.2. He hasn't pitched too terribly much since, only 2 games since May 19th. So that's a little hard to judge right there. So just off the bat right there, I already lean St. Louis, but I'm not touching a side or a total money line in a doubleheader. No shot. I will touch some props. So we will look at props a little bit. So let's pop over here to, let's do Elder first. Matchup, Elder versus St. Louis history. No home runs given up. Not many at bats either, let's be honest. We got some 300s, a lot of zeros. And 5 at bat, not many at bats. So, and how does St. Louis hit righties? Again, let's look. 327 for Burleson, 308. We see a low number. Yeah, decent. All right, look at props. Only thing we have is strikeouts. That's it for Elder, because he just doesn't. He's only had a couple games in the last 2 months, so can't do these. So now we'll go to Gray. Let's look at his. St. Louis, Atlanta, Gray. Ozuna has 1 home run and 7 at bats. Duvall has a home run and 4 at bats, but Ozuna's got a terrible average, so I don't want to take a terrible average. Olsen 375, 100 for Rosario, not good numbers. Albies 0.07. Ooh, RC of 1. Ooh, terrible numbers. Gray might shove against Braves, especially in game 2. They're a little tired. And Braves against righties. No 300s. No 3. The Braves are not. The Braves are struggling this year. Hard. All right. And only problem I get strikeouts. And you give me the under first? I only want the over, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm taking. I'm taking Gray over 5.5 Ks. I gots to do it, because the only time is here and here. Yeah. Outside that, he gets 6 a lot. This is second game. The bats should be a little more tired because they only get an hour break. And we saw the averages, and we see what Sonny Gray's done. So yeah, I'm going to take that. We're not going to touch anything else. It's a doubleheader. It's weird. Sonny Gray over 5.5 strikeouts. Move on to the next game. Next up, Giants and Rockies. Giants are a pretty heavy favorite. 9.5 is your total. Bats, 54% nerfy based on what they've done this year. 2.7 versus 6. Colorado has a big advantage in the runs. 230 versus 260. Slight advantage Colorado in the runs. 10.3 strikeouts versus 12. Both teams strike out a ton. So that's something to look at. So far we have Colorado with the advantage on the offense. So let's look at the pitchers. Freeland is going out there for Colorado. Hasn't pitched. He's only pitched 4 total games since April. So he had a great game, great game, great game. Yeah, Freeland's pretty good. So Webb, on the other hand, you can see, was any of these against San Fran? They were not. And you can see he's not faced Colorado. Had a rough game before the All-Star game. Even had a rough All-Star game. So you can see he has been struggling here recently. But yeah, he's an All-Star. So those are his numbers. Right now, I'm telling you right now, I lean Colorado. I definitely. Webb is struggling. Colorado has the offense. I'm already going to put Colorado money line on my list. We'll look closer, but that's going on my list. Let's start with props. Bang, outlier. Here we go. Let's start with Freeland. Matchup against San Fran, history. Estrada has 2 home runs and 12 at bats. There's a home run for Yastrzemski. Yastrzemski's batting 467, 417. Oh, I'm starting to reconsider my Colorado money line. They're batting pretty good against him in history. So, okay. And how does San Fran hit lefties? 411 for Ramos. Ooh, okay. San Fran does pretty good against lefties. Ooh, okay. Let's look at some props. I might take Colorado money line off. I'm a little worried now just seeing that. Strikeouts. Ooh, he was no. Yes, he's like, I almost try people out now. It's 6.5. Oof. I can't. No. San Fran's offense ain't good enough right now. I can't do that. Walks. I don't trust unders either. I hate taking under props, to be honest. And outs. 15.5. 18 is 6 innings. I'm taking Colorado money line off, and I'm going to add him to hit over 15.5 pitching outs. I think he's going to pitch well enough to not. That was Arizona, that was Toronto, that was Cubs, Arizona again, because Arizona twice is out in San Fran. Oh, this is 2020. Oh, yeah. Let's just do this year. So he's getting better as the year goes on. And this was, yeah, since he came back since April, he's been pitching at least 18 now. So I don't even want this one. I want these 4, and yeah, he's hit over that every time. Yeah, we're taking over 15 at pitching outs for sure. Let's go to Webb now. Matchup, Webb, Colorado, history. And we can see Blackman has a home run, 33 at bats. McMahon has one. Outside of that, we got a high average, couple 300s with some good at bats. Hilliard, terrible average with 16 at bats. Terrible. Diaz is awful, 0.505 and 19 at bats. So you can see that. Colorado against righties, we got a 300. Nothing else is really standing out. So yeah, I'm glad I took Colorado money line off. That worried me. Strikeouts. How much is? Oh, Colorado's last in strikeouts. Yeah, I think Webb, even though he gets rocked, he still gets his strikeouts. So I think Webb strikeouts is going to be going on this list. Over 4.5K? 5.5K. I'm okay with that. Any of these Colorado? Let's just glance real quick. Nope. So that's good. That's good for the pitcher. If you haven't faced him, that's good news. So yeah, we'll rock with that. Hits, earn runs, walks. I think K's is gonna be the way to go. Outs is close, but I think we're gonna go strikeouts. So all right, so for this one, we're going to go with Freeland over 15.5 pitching outs and Webb over 5.5 strikeouts next game. All right, last game. Let's get it. Houston, Seattle. Seattle, slight favorite. 7 is your total. Looking at the bats, 59.6 Nerfy based on what they've done. Oh my goodness, these stats are terrible. Nerfy is 100% in play. 2.0 versus 1.0 on runs, both bottom 3. 202 versus 152, both bottom 4. Yeah, Nerfy is definitely in play. Let's pop over some pitching, see if they can help that out. Kirby's going out there. Has Kirby gotten blown up any? Has he faced Houston any? Nothing looks bad. Valdez, has he faced Seattle? No, he hasn't, but he had blew up a little bit. Yeah, Nerfy is 100% on this list. I'm taking a Nerfy all day. First Nerfy of the day, I think. Yeah, it is. First Nerfy. So, I mean, it just makes sense. Look at the numbers. The numbers. Jason, what do they mean? This is what they mean. They mean they're trash right now. So, back to the pitching. You can see what they are. Let's pop over the props, see if anything stands out. We'll start with Valdez first. His matchup against Seattle. Historically, what have we done? Raleigh, Cal has 1 home run at 10 at bats. I mean, I could see Adam Raleigh see the list with 300 average. I mean, I could see it. Outside of that, a couple ones, nothing really stands out. Seattle versus lefties. I mean, he's not that good against lefty though. So, no one's over. Well, there's the 300 for Julio, but outside of that, nothing standing out. Let's look at some props. Hits 5.5 for Valdez. I like the, not with these offenses. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I mean, if you do it, great, but I just can't see it. Ooh, it's outs. 17.5. 2024. No, I'm gonna leave that alone. Let's go Kirby now. His matchup against Houston. No, Kirby, Houston history. No home runs. 333 average. Not many at bats. A lot of red on here. Ugh. Okay. And how does Houston hit righties? I'm seeing 300s to a 299, a 294. Altuve is close. 292, but outside of that, there's not much else there. So let's look at some props. Earn runs, strikeouts, hits, walks, outs. He's 18.5. Come on. No. Okay. All right. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to leave the props alone in this game. We're going to take the Nerfy for sure. 7. Come on. I would take the under, but 7. If it was 7.5, I could. But 7? No, I can't. I can't do that. No. We'll take the Nerfy in this one. Just call it a day on this one. We're done. All right. That is it. All 16 games broken down completely. Drop a like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. If you want Outlier, link in the description. Get you a free week. It is free. You can cancel after the week if you want to, but if not, you can sign up because you see how awesome Outlier is. You can see all the cool stuff. I love working with them. They're amazing. So let's do the recap for the recap people. Welcome to the video. I know you're just joining in if you're a recap person. Hey, you're missing out on some great breakdowns though. You should probably check those out too. So on the breakdowns, Tampa Bay, New York, we're going Bradley 15.5, over 15.5 pitching outs and also over 5.5 strikeouts. I think Bradley shoves today against New York. I could be wrong, but you never know. St. Louis, Atlanta game 1. We're going Gibson over 4.5 hits allowed. Detroit, Toronto. We're going Detroit money line. I got them to win. That's it. LA, Oakland. I'm taking Jack K. I cannot say his last name. I don't think you can either, but Jack K for LA is going to, I'm taking his over 4.5 hits allowed. And we're also going to take Oakland money line. Mets in Miami, we're just going to pass on that one. Philly and Pitt, we're going to pass on that one. Cincy and Washington, I'm going to take Gord over 4.5 hits allowed. Baltimore, Texas, Rodriguez over 5.5 strikeouts. Texas team total under 3.5. Yes, that's right. A team total under. I know. I must be sick. He exhaustion from yesterday, probably. San Diego and Cleveland. Cease over 4.5 hits allowed. White Sox and the Royals. Cannon over 16.5 pitching outs. Milwaukee, Minnesota. Pass, mainly because they didn't play yesterday. It's their first game back. I need to see what they can do. Arizona and Chicago Cubs. Hendricks over 4.5 hits allowed. Boston and the Dodgers. We're going to go Bello over 5.5 hits allowed. And the total of 9. We're going over of 9 in that one. St. Louis, Atlanta, Pot deux. We're going Sonny Gray over 5.5 strikeouts. San Fran and Colorado. We're going Freeland over 15.5 pitching outs, and Webb over 5.5 strikeouts. And Houston and Seattle, we're going the Nerfy, and that's it. That's all the plays. For the Moneyline Parlay, we build it right now. So for the Moneyline Parlay, we are going to take, since I don't have any, we're throwing the pluses in there. We're taking Detroit, we're taking Oakland, we're taking, that's it. That's the only two sides I took was Detroit and Oakland. What the hell? All right. Parlay is Detroit and Oakland. That's, hey, it's a plus in Oakland who's not, they're like by minus 130. That's not much. So, hey, that'll work out. We can hit that. For the home run lay, the names I wrote down as we were going, I took Olsen from Atlanta, Randy from Tampa Bay. You know who Randy is. Berger from the Mets, Hoskins from Milwaukee, Jock Peterson from Arizona, and I threw Ohtani in there because the numbers look good. So those are all the home run dudes. That's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dudes. That works out. 6 people I'm looking at home runs today. Outside of that, nothing else to cover. There'll be more games tomorrow. I appreciate you watching. Drop a like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.